Everyone, my name is Aubrey Nash, and I'm going to be talking to you about my wildly important goal from an HR perspective. So, after much speculation about what my core responsibilities are at work, I decided that my wildly important goal, or WIG, will be that of identifying and satisfying the needs of employees that I serve daily. A lot of my job requires customer service and also a great deal of organization, and I felt that my WIG was centered around those. So if you're wondering why I chose that of identifying and satisfying the needs of employees that I serve for my WIG, I decided that a lot of what I do, a lot of my job duties all trace back to supporting employees that work for the company. So a lot of my job requires verification of employments, proof of termination for the Department of Labor, FMLA, bereavement leave, helping with continuing education if our employees want to go back to school and better themselves. Employees have personal problems a lot of the time, family, homelessness, a variety of those type of issues. And then I kind of touched on this before, but providing excellent customer service is a large part of my job. And then serving those around me to give them access to what they have legal rights to. So my lead measures, how I'm going to accomplish my WIG goal. So according to McChesney, Covey, and Hewling, good lead measures have two characteristics that make them effective. They are predictive of achieving the goal, and they can be influenced by team members that support it. Mine are greeting every person that walks into my office with a smile and a genuine inquisition as to how or my team can help them. A lot of the time, people have, they struggle with walking into HR. It's a little bit nerve wracking, and a lot of the times they don't know what they want. It can be a little bit daunting. The No Man Left Behind filing system, cross-checking direct deposit information before payroll is processed, and participating in a yearly HR training. And I will touch on each of those in the next following slides. So lead one, greeting everyone. And I know that I touched on this a little bit in the last slide. I kind of got ahead of myself, but I'll just go over it a little bit. So a large part of my job is, of course, handling day-to-day duties and greeting people as they walk in and kind of helping them at a day-to-day basis. So my exchange with them needs to be very positive. When they walk through the door, I need to be smiling and I need to ask them how I can help them. It kind of sets the pace for how the exchange is going to develop. Me being happy and acting like I want to be there and want to help them lightens the mood because HR really can be gloomy at times. A lot of people come in for various reasons, of course, but it can be bad at times. So I can take the pressure off the employee that needs help by asking them first what I can help them with. Happiness is contagious, but so is a bad attitude. That's something that I've always tried to live by. So try to be happy because it really is contagious. Lead number two, No Man Left Behind filing system. So my idea behind this is that organization and a clean filing system need to be a large priority in my day-to-day work, just because when it comes to satisfying the needs of employees, if I lose something that has to do with their life, it could be detrimental. So take this for example, an employee turns in their request for a final retirement, a form that needs to be submitted 3 months in advance from the date that they would like to retire. Say I lose it in my disorganized filing system and forget to send it in, the employee's pension payments could be now delayed. So if I lose paperwork, in return, I lose employees' trust and overall satisfaction with their personal HR department. So using a filing system that is manageable and not overwhelming to myself and my two coworkers that I work with daily can be really helpful for not only me, but the people that I'm helping daily. So I would like to use a joint filing system that has all three of us involved and that we can all three contribute easily to. Filing systems with labels that include to do, urgent to do, and file would be very helpful. In my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinions and experience, less is more. The more labeling file sections you have, the easier it is to lose paperwork, misfile it. I've seen that happen a lot. So for example, my manager and I, this is actually something that we already do, put completed paperwork in the file section when it needs to be placed in employees' personal files eventually. That way, if we don't see it in their personal file, we know where to go and look for it. Lead number 3, cross-check direct deposit forms. So every year we have what's called our campaign season, and it's when the sugar beet company that I work for begins cutting the sugar beets. And so during this time, it's very, very hectic, stressful, busy, and we need a large amount of seasonal employees that we need to bring in and help with that type of season. So a large issue that payroll and HR currently face yearly around campaign season is that of hiring all of those people and then correctly entering their direct deposit information. So entering their account and routing numbers into the system. So a lot of the time what happens is employees will accidentally swap numbers and write it down on their form and will enter it incorrectly. So this can be a huge pain because usually it takes banks about 2 days to recognize the problem, send the money back, and then we have to reissue a check. So that can be a pain for the employees also because it delays their paydays. And then it also creates discontent between HR and payroll because it's more work for each of us. And so something that I would really, really like to do is require a voided check with direct deposit forms. So it's fine if the employee fills out the forms, but I think that a direct deposit needs to have a voided check, or a bank issues a direct deposit form themselves and faxes it to us. So going forward, I would like to gather all the direct deposit forms from new hires requiring a voided check or the bank submitted direct deposit form. Then when pre-payroll rolls around, check for any pre-noted flags. So that's a really personal thing for the company that I work for. The pre-noted flags pop up and basically don't allow the direct deposit money to go through. And so those pre-noted flags really help us catch them and then change them and then make everything run smoothly, basically. So doing those two things, I believe, would really clear up a lot of the issues that we currently have every season. Lead number 4, and my last lead, is yearly HR training. I believe that it's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day work life and lose track of HR's focus and our own goals, and I believe that a lot of people in different departments and in different jobs can feel the same way. In a way, being objective about things can kind of wear off, especially as you get to know the regulars and build relationships with your different employees. A yearly training is a great way to regroup, reprioritize, and bring cohesiveness to those working in HR. This can also apply to other people in different departments. HR is just specific to my job currently. Trainings boost employee satisfaction and can improve employees' retention, leading to stronger teams that are confident in the goals that they have set. Employees feel more valuable to a company when their continued education is promoted continuously as well. When employees like my team and I feel satisfied, fulfilled, and confident, we in return provide better service. I think that a yearly HR training is just a really great way to regroup and come together and kind of plan out the year. Especially if you're doing it at the end of the year, then it's a great way to plan out the year incoming, so 2019. So my lag measure. So a lag measure is supposed to measure the ultimate goal that you're trying to accomplish. So my ultimate goal, or my WIG, is that of identifying and satisfying the needs of employees I serve. So the idea behind my lag measure was making it so that it's accessible to everyone and very, very simple, something that anyone that walks in could understand, basically. So I have a to-do list on the side of mine, and my daily indicators are those that are well indicated by the daily beside them. So have you asked each employee that walks into the office if you can be of service? I have a little smiley face next to that one. The smiley face is specific to that lead. So have you asked each employee that walks into the office if you can be of service? On Monday, I would do a little smiley face. And obviously not every time someone walks into the office, I would put a smiley face. But at the end of the day, I would reflect. Was I happy when people walked in, and did I ask them if they needed help? And then I would put my smiley face. And that's a really good way to think, oh, maybe I didn't do that. And I wasn't very good at that today. So I don't think I'm going to put a smiley face, but that's something that I really need to work on in the upcoming week. And so I'm not going to go over all of them. They're pretty self-explanatory, but my bi-weekly one is actually just specific to pre-payroll and the payday. So bi-weekly, we pay our employees. So have new direct deposit forms been completed with an attached voided check? So pre-payroll on Monday, when we check pre-payroll before payday on Friday, that's something that I would need to reflect on. That's something that I would need to say, hey, today's pre-payroll, I need to look at my lead measure. Have direct deposit forms been completed with the voided check? I would go through the direct deposit forms and double check that, and then also check for those pre-noted flags that I mentioned in the previous slides as well. And then yearly, that's something that obviously this would not be applicable to daily or even bi-weekly, but at the end of the year, the goal with this lag measure would be to create a large year calendar, basically. And so at the very end of the year, December, I would reflect and I would say, have we done our yearly training yet? And if not, then I need to obviously follow up with my HR manager and try to get something scheduled. But if we have, then I can put my little plus mark there that I have on the calendar. Last but not least, be accountable. As mentioned by McChesney, Covey, and Huling, the previous disciplines are only useful once you've introduced discipline 4, which is that of accountability. Without being held accountable, it's easy to watch your goals disintegrate into the whirlwind of your everyday work obligations. So monthly meetings are imperative, and if you want to be even more ambitious, biweekly work even better. I think that's, again, a really great way to regroup, come together, and think about the goals that you have set for yourselves.